Greetings Indie Warriors and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name's Old Gamer Joe, here to deliver you 10 amazing indie game news stories for the week that was June 17th through the 21st. That's right, we're back every Friday with a rundown of all the latest, hottest indie game news. And we've got some big gaming announcements to go over, so pour yourself a nice cold beverage and strap in because, well, this is going to be a fun list. But before you do that, consider heading over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to support independent content, gain Discord access, and more. Like the video, subscribe to this channel so you can keep the lights on here for us, and hang out with GGF every Thursday at twitch.tv/idreamofindiegames. Your new indie gaming community can't wait to meet you. Our first story this week comes to us from Saber Interactive and involves a franchise that I greatly enjoy. In fact, I just recently watched the first and second movies, and I'm looking forward to both the upcoming prequel and third installment. We're talking about the spooky horror franchise A Quiet Place, and it's getting a video game. That's right, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead is launching on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S later this year. The newly launched trailer, which is linked below, gives us a taste of the first-person horrors that await. Much like the movie, it seems that players will need to rely on stealth and staying quiet if they hope to survive. The game will be single-player and will feature an original untold story. I think A Quiet Place makes perfect sense as a video game, and I'm personally very much looking forward to the final release. The developers, Stormmind Games, brought us such excellent titles as Remothered Tormented Fathers, alright, well, the not-so-excellent Broken Porcelain, but we'll forgive that, and also Batora Lost Haven. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and I'm excited to see what they can do with this property. Next, I want to talk about a new narrative RPG that was announced during Summer Games Fest called Sky of Tides. Coming to us from ES Digital Games, this ambitious indie will have a unique balance system that's necessary to master if you hope to see the true ending. More on that in a second. Launching on PC and all major consoles sometime this year, Sky of Tides will feature a fascinating science fiction story, deep RPG mechanics, and 32 possible endings. In a war-torn world, you'll control Rin on a quest to find her missing father. What's really interesting here is that the game will feature a full-on animated series for those that are able to complete and get that true ending. And you'll get it at no additional charge, you just gotta put in the work. Now that's pretty wild. Hopefully we'll be hearing more about Sky of Tides in the not-so-distant future.
I can feel the power inside of me.
Kill the rebel girl and bring Rindalore directly to me.
Moving right along, did any of you play Kaku Ancient Seal during the early access period? Well, good news either way. The 1.0 release will launch at last, July 12th. This full release will come in at $24.99 here in North America with a limited time discount that you can take advantage of. Console versions should be arriving at a later date. The final version of Kaku will have 30 hours of content to dive into through a massive open world. New rune and transformation systems have been implemented, and it seems like the devs have taken a ton of feedback into consideration and made the game into what they originally envisioned. We'll find out on July 12th.
For the final hope!
More good news for horror game fans this week, as Horror Tales: The Beggar has officially launched on PlayStation and Xbox consoles alongside PC. The Steam version is also coming in at a hefty 40% discount, and it's playable on Steam Deck. Developed by Carlos Coronado, the game features a deep physics combat system with plenty of scares and, of course, cryptic puzzles to solve. A physical edition of the game will also be available on June 26th. This science fiction horror is receiving very positive reviews so far, so at least consider adding it to your wishlist if you dare. Hooded Horse makes the news next, and they're already gearing up for 2025. Seems like they love the look of Drillkeeper from Shoulder Bite and will be adding it to their roster. Drill Keeper is a charming looking deck builder that also has tower defense gameplay elements. The early access release is slated for next year and unsurprisingly will have you doing a great deal of mining and building. Gather up necessary resources, enjoy a casual game of cards, and adapt to challenging roguelike mechanics. Worlds will be procedurally generated, which should keep players on their toes. If you loved games such as Slay the Spire, Drill Keeper is one to keep an eye out for next year. So about a year ago, we covered Flamekeeper here at I Dream of Indie Games. There's a link to that review below, and it showed a good deal of promise in early access. Well, it seems like the developers have kept the fire burning, as the 1.0 version is now available on Steam, with a Switch launch to come in July. Players can also enjoy a limited time 30% discount. This unique roguelite puts you in control of a tiny piece of coal named Ignis, who is attempting to keep the world alive through flame without burning out himself entirely. The game features a good variety of skills to utilize and tons of upgrades, alongside an entire village for you to explore. So check out Flamekeeper while it's hot if you haven't yet, and be on the lookout for Switch updates too. The recent Nintendo Direct featured some exciting reveals, but one of the lesser discussed titles was Looney Tunes, Wacky World of Sports. I had to give this one a shout out because I'm a big Looney Tunes guy, and also, bonus points for anyone that ever played Looney Tunes B-Ball, I actually own that game on the Super Nintendo. You'll have basketball this go around, yes, but you'll also be able to participate in other zany activities such as soccer and even golf. That has me excited. Launching on PC and all consoles, Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports will feature 4 sports in total with 2v2, 1v1, and even 4-player options. Iconic tunes will be available for selection, including Bugs Bunny, of course, Elmer Fudd, and my favorite, the Roadrunner. You'll be able to hit the courts this September, Indie Warriors.
And soccer. And who will win the ultimate prize? The Golden Anvil. Let's find out. It's time for the Acme Tournament of Champions.
What's up, Doug?
So I guess developers are wanting to start the spooky season a little bit earlier this year, but that's okay with me. Ashes, emphasis on the H for whatever reason, will launch into early access on June 24th. This open-world survival title looks to chill players to the bone. As a young one, you thought grandma's ghost stories were total rubbish, but as an adult, you're starting to slowly become a believer. Explore the underworld via online play and attempt to survive the wretched underworld together. You'll be haunted by ghosts and forced to create safe spaces while crafting a variety of items and weapons in hopes of staying alive. Teamwork makes the dream work in this spooky upcoming indie. It's a good time to be a Metal Slug fan, isn't it? We aren't far off from a brand new tactics game, and now console and PC players can enjoy Metal Slug Attack with the launch of Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. Originally, this one released for iOS and Android all the way back in 2016, but it's a tower defense title set in the Metal Slug universe, I guess that was obvious, and features a massive 300 plus characters to utilize while you create the ultimate deck of destruction. The game is easy enough for noobs to pick up and play, but also challenging enough for veterans of the genre. This version of the game will also feature the new alien creature Mastro, King of Mars. Toss in online modes, and I'm sold. Balatro fans, we know there are a lot of you out there. Get ready for a special edition of the game, which will be launching on September 19th. You'll be able to score a copy of the game, of course, but also 10 unique physical cards. Yes, you can actually hold these cards in your hand, or charge them up like Gambit and toss them into a safe area, please. Switch, Xbox, and PS5 users will have to pony up 30 USD to add this to their collections. Ante up though. So that's a nice look ahead of what you can expect out of the indie gaming scene. But this week here at I Dream of Indie Games, we were busy as always, and it is jam-packed full of content for you to enjoy. If you missed any of it, of course, as we do every Monday, there's a brand new episode of upcoming indies for you to enjoy, where we go over 16 indie releases from this week alone. And Patreon members always get that show ad and sponsor free. They are absolutely loving that perk. We also had an exclusive preview of Be My Horde, which just recently launched into early access, so be sure to check that out if you're into Vampire Survivors likes. Blood, the biggest review this week, or should I say, #Blood. We thank you so much, everyone that's watched that review so far, for making it the #1 review of #Blood on the YouTube platform right now. Thank you so much, but for those of you that missed the review, if you're a fan of 90s Cartoon Network style art and you happen to like classic top-down Zelda style games, well then don't miss that review. Links for all of these are in the description box below, by the way. If you happen to be looking for something a little less zany and more chilled out, well then maybe our review of Tavern Talk will interest you. So pull up a chair and be sure to check out that full review, which is also live on the channel right now. And then lastly, that crazy, goofy gamer ghoul friend is at it again. She's got a brand new video of Crab God for you to enjoy. 10 minutes of hilarity. I promise you, it's a really, really fun video.
Love's delicious definition, make the boys go loco. He's gonna be my crab god, so he goes into the ego.
Again, links to all of these in the description box below, and patrons of all tiers will receive the exclusive podcast outside of the Echo Chamber on Sunday to go along with their lovely version of upcoming indie games. Thank you again for your continued support of independent content here at the channel. Voice to the voiceless, and keep it locked here to I Dream of Indie Games for all the latest indie gaming news, reviews, and so much more.